of nights when the moon's up high, there's a man with a talent, a spark in his eye. He's got a wicked creation that's one of a kind. With his 3D printer, he'll blow your mind. Frightful Forge, his name speaks for itself, printing monsters and ghouls straight out of hell. From skeletons to witches, his designs are supreme. In the realm of horror, he reigns supreme. Frightful Forge, he's the master of fright. With his 3D prints, he'll keep you up all night. Spooky creatures crawling out of his machine. Frightful Forge, the Halloween scene's new king. It's the crafty man who can do what no one can. Frightful Forge, he's the master of fright. With his 3D prints, he'll keep you up all night. Spooky creatures crawling out of his machine. Frightful Forge, Twitch.tv's new king. Easy willing gore. Twitch.tv/Frightful Forge. Twitch.tv/Frightful Forge.
Hey, and welcome to Laughing Corpses. This is a 5e live play podcast, assuming that my volume is going out. Can I get a thumbs up from people? Okay, good. We have been, for the last several months, diving into a very eclectic group of characters and their adventures past the veil into a place called the Radiant Citadel. This is a gigantic auroral diamond floating in space with a giant maelstrom cloud of storm wrapping around it. From inside this singular gigantic gemstone, they are sent out on missions to these civilizations that make up the 14 civilizations that give the Radiant Citadel its life. And part of that is that they are from a wide reaching of types and groups and players, some of the best people I've ever played with. And I will start with the intros thusly. I'll start with the center square and go clockwise. Well, actually, it'll probably be counterclockwise. I'll go from Martha Andres. And here they are. Nope. There they are. Who are you and who are you playing?
I'm Mark. I'm playing New, the human chef, eating ice cream.
Is he going clockwise or counter?
So I think it's backwards for me. So I think it's gonna go to you, Andres. You
Okay.
go talk a little bit about the character you're playing, even though we haven't introduced him yet.
Yeah, I'm Andres, and I'm going to be playing Sunshine King Spirit, a half-orc monk.
Okay.
I'm Naomi. I am playing a tiefling bard named Prudence.
Whoever
I'm
wants to go
Jim.
next. Yep.
I'm gonna be playing Sibo Bottle Pop, the Goblin Alchemist.
Sweet.
Rodad, I am playing Keck, the Thrycreen fighter.
Okay. We will be getting into their adventures in a moment. But for now, we pierce the Veil of Shadows. There's an area where the room is dark, black, pitch. You can't see anything past maybe 30 or 40 feet. In the center is a large dais, and hovering around this dais are 30 or 40 mirrors and energized gateways, portals that are showing adventures and villains and combat and action from all over the multiverse. However, a large number of them are focused on our party and what they've been up to. As we move down over these flickering images, we see one in the top corner that has a tall, uh, orangish brown with some white spots herringon, grouping together with some goblins around a fire, eating some food, they're laughing. You can tell that there's other things going on, and he's getting prepared for a large journey. And the goblins are doing the best they can to prepare him for that journey. As we sweep down over this image, we see that standing before all of the other mirrors and entrances, or mirrors and view screens, essentially, is a man. We're pretty sure it's a man. He's shaped like a man, a human man. He's cloaked in shadow. You can tell his shape. He's wearing strange clothing that seems out of place in this magically fantasy setting. There's a jacket with 2 buttons, a white shirt underneath, and a black tie, but his face is hidden other than 2 points of light that could be eyes. And as he turns from the view screens towards his audience, which at this point are 4 strangely shaped villainous beings, some large, some small, but all looking like they carry an air of malicious intent. And he says to them, "Imagine a world where these heroes would have to say goodbye. It would seem that some of the machinations we have started are coming into power. They had to say goodbye to one of their own." And he looks over his shoulder at the screens again, focusing on the Herringon, and says, "We didn't expect it to play out like it did, but they had a reality show, a challenge, where they cooked against each other in front of a live studio audience. Strange, yes, but it seems just what these strange characters would do on a normal day." and you can tell that he's almost giving a report to his erstwhile companions, his villainous comrades. He points out images that flash across the screen. You guys, all of the players going and getting small items for Urandi, or packing things up, getting things prepared. We see flashes of the events from last time where you guys. Prue, instead of diving into the tank to take care of these large shrimp, explodes the tank, flooding the tent. And you guys essentially throwing power back and forth a little bit, trying to mess each other up and slip each other up. And in the end, Arandi came out the winner. Olvida came out the winner. The time went well. Enjoyment was had by all, and Arandi, early in the morning, packed up to leave before everyone else woke up and snuck out almost without being seen. He left by some unknown means to the party, but was able to make it home safe. And as this cloaked, shadowed villain finishes his report, he turns back around and says to the screens in front of him, "We'll have to see what kind of Twilight adventure they do this week." And we will pan from there through the screens. It wobbles a little bit as we pan into the four of you sitting in the apartment. It's quiet. You're eating breakfast that New just prepared. I know you're eating, Mark, but what did New prepare for breakfast?
He would have prepared. Thank you for asking, because I have something specific that I needed to prepare. It was oak smoked schnitzel.
Okay.
A meat that is crumbed and smoked inside an oaken log. And it's delicate. It's soaked in dairy and then cooked. And actually, can I have you roll a D4?
Sure. One.
Okay. So then that would be SIBO. When you eat it, you feel a warmth wash over you, and you realize that if you had been wounded, you could probably, this would mend your bones. It tries to happen, but you're not wounded. So, I mean, you're not, are you? After a long rest? I assume not.
Not as far as I'm aware.
No.
Okay, so yes, you feel like you do when you drink a potion, basically, or after you've had a nice short rest. Let's say.
Okay. All right.
That's what it feels like.
Okay. It's a good 15 minutes that you're eating in relative quiet, before there's a knock at the door. It is a knock coming from about 1.5 feet high off the ground.
Gotta get the music ready.
I don't answer the door.
I'll go and answer it.
Oh, sorry, real quick. All music and sound effects today brought to you by Sirenscape. Okay. As the door opens, Andres, Why don't you describe who we see?
So, no, I wouldn't be wearing my ring gear. So I'm wearing this really like nice white linen suit, with a bright red shirt, like silk shirt underneath. And my mask it's got this curve like this that follows my like. I have really large flared out hair. And it comes down as well and like kind of follows the jaw, like the jawline. And it's in red and yellow, and there's like little triangles and stuff like all around it. And my eyes are blacked out, like the space around it, and those go up into little points.
Like with makeup, or with like that's just
Yeah, with makeup.
Okay.
Like I apply makeup for it, and he's got a darkish brown skin tone, and his hair is black, and yeah, he stands about 5'8", 5'9".
And you said orc or half orc?
Half orc.
Okay.
I don't recall anybody saying that we requested a court jester. What can I do
So,
for
Sunshine
you?
King Spirit is no jester. Who do I hand my bags off to? And I like I have my suitcase and a gym bag.
So up till a moment ago, Sunshine, you were being brought to this apartment. You had it had been explained to you by the short monkey chameleon creature that was bringing you here that, like your last adventuring group, this adventuring group has been doing things for the speakers and for the Radiant Citadel, and some events had occurred that they could probably use your help, which was good since your last adventuring group like kind of dissipated. And until a moment ago, he was standing right beside you. He knocked on the door, you looked away, when you looked back, he was gone. As you say, who's gonna take my bags? Bill Shylock wanders in from the kitchen. Mark, you see a handful of eggshells and some extra bits of meat that you cut off are being not like chewed in his mouth as he goes, "Hey, I let myself in because something's wrong with your door. Say hi. We've got someone that might be able to help you." And he has a huge grin on his face.
I nod towards the person in the white suit, and then I look directly at Shylock and I say, "Ah, more meat." And I pull very slowly my knife out, looking directly into Shylock's eye.
He slowly backs up into the kitchen, and you can hear pans moving and rustling, and he doesn't come back out. As you move to step across the threshold, Sunshine, all of you feel a thrum, like a struck chord, like a guitar chord plucked very, very strongly, except it's in your shoulder, where that 9-pointed star, the glowing birthmark, has settled. What I would like from each of you, please, is to express to the group a memory from your past that has been discussed or hasn't been discussed that will represent a sharing of memories that you guys have right now. I'm going to start with Crow, because he's great at improv, and we'll go with volunteers after that.
So this is a memory that he's seeing because of our connection.
So all of you are going to be seeing all of these memories. It's almost like there was a web and something in that web has been plucked or reattached. And so all of you are going to see all of these memories. This hasn't happened to you in almost 4 months.
Okay, so you'll all see a memory of a smaller version of Keck kind of scrambling through a really dark tunnel. Rush into a room where it looks like other larger Thrycreen are tearing apart animals for their meat. And Keck is going to run forward and try to grab some, and one of the larger ones is going to like kind of smack him against the wall, and then he's going to scrabble back down the tunnel, and that's the memory you'll see.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I will.
Okay.
You guys see Sibo. Visually very similar, like similar hairstyle and everything, but shorter and probably a little darker than it is now. And he is teaching a girl, a goblin girl. And it's a series of flashes. You see her, you know, kind of clumsily muddling things in a mortar and pestle and, you know, sprinkling them over this little potion. And you see these little flares of alchemical magic pop out of the potion or out of the little cauldron. And then eventually it flashes to, it's almost like looking into the sun. It's just this blinding white flash. And then you see, from Sibo's perspective, you see him picking her up, and she's just these broken remains after a detonation. And then it's gone.
Okay. What's your next?
I'll go.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So you see, I'm looking down from the top post of the ring, and my opponent's there on the floor. My partner's like got the other one pinned up against the other corner, and you all feel that sensation of me jumping off of the top rope, full moonsault, land on my opponent, and the sound of the ref tapping that 3, and me and my opponent like cheering, like the crowd erupts. And this is the first, like, there's this, I've never felt this feeling before of when the crowd, we're finally over with the crowd. And the ref raises me and my partner's hands. And we're just looking out at the crowd, and then they bring out the belts. And they hand them to us, and me and her stand there in the center just taking it all in. And that's the memory you guys get.
Okay. Okay.
Crap. You made
I
me.
can go, Mark, if you want.
No, it's not that. It's that I was trying to solidify what mine was, so I totally didn't hear either of the last two. And I just realized that, so I couldn't take the notes on them. I apologize.
I'll take the notes on it. You're good.
Okay, thank you.
I usually do mine on the Tuesday or the Wednesday after to fill in the gaps. So you're good.
Sorry, I just realized that I was not paying attention to them, and I'm like, crap! I wanted to hear these and write them down.
Almost every single time, I'd rather you be present. So you're good.
One last note on it. The last thing you guys hear as over the sound of the crowd going nuts is these are your new Chroma City Tag Team Champions, Tano Vortex and Sunshine King Spirit, the beautiful Braves. And then the crowd goes crazy again. That's the end of the memory.
You say Chroma City?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kroma.
Okay.
So is on a ship with sailors heading towards a remote island. And they call land ho, and off in the distance from the bird's eye view. And you see his face relax for a moment, but there's a storm rolling in behind them. And still, while they're a good ways off from shore, you see lightning strike the port mast and begin to set the boat on fire. It spreads faster than they can control. And then the next thing you see is glimpses of going under the water, everything sinking, and then being washed up on an island. And you feel the desperation as you're clawing your way onto the shore and pull yourself up and then lay there, soaking wet and cold.
Okay.
Okay, like no joke, mine's a lot less traumatic than your guys's. So it literally, it's just a quiet scene. I'd say a quiet scene, but it's the getting ready for her wedding.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of attendance. Her mom is there, like helping fix her hair and helping her get things ready. And this is like the first time she'd seen her mom, so there's a lot. You just feel this joy. She hasn't seen her mom since she moved away, but her parents were able to come for this ceremony. And so it's just that anticipation and nervousness and fear, but also excitement and just joy to be with family. And that you kind of get that along with all the flurry of people around and fussing and just that little moment.
I like that. Okay, so just to be fair, because I don't really talk to the audience, right? I talk to you guys. I appreciate that you all chose. I didn't give you a heads up that this was going to happen. And you all chose moments in your characters' lives that, sure, some of them were very traumatic, but they were all emotionally charged memories, which I appreciate.
I kind of had a feeling it was going to be like themed to change, because that's what's happening right now.
Yeah. There is one last memory that is plucked like a cord through your guys' thoughts. You're standing in an enchanted forest. I say enchanted because it's one of the only things that could explain what you're seeing. You're in a house, but the house is grown out of a tree, and it's maybe 150 feet above the ground. These trees are huge, like giant redwoods, like sequoias. Massively large, massively round, and they've been grown and shaped in such a way that they build these structures, and there are rope bridges that lead with vines between some of the many houses up at this level. And as you're holding on to a railing made of vine and looking out, you can see people moving back and forth over the bridges. There's a really light, almost fae-like music playing somewhere on some kind of harp or stringed instrument. It doesn't match what you're hearing right now, just put that out there. But it's a very almost ethereal music, and fog is just starting to roll in. These low clouds are just starting to roll in and fall between the huge branches above, so that it almost looks like a waterfall of fog coming through, and you're getting the feeling of home. And then it is intermixed. There's like a flash, lightning strike of emotion as that image is interposed with the same city, but now on fire. All of it is burning up. The people that were living on the bridge, that were living in these houses, are trying to escape the flames. They're trying to escape and not fall to their deaths. There are ways, you know, deep down to survive this, but for the life of you, you're under so much stress right now, it's hard for you to remember how to escape, how you can help your family, how you can help these people. And so that's what you all see and experience from that meld. And you kind of catch your breath. Sunshine, you've never experienced anything like this. This didn't even happen with your last group. And you look down, and your bags are on the ground next to you. You seem to have let them go. And the 5 of you are sitting in this moderately sized kitchen, or dining room, kind of staring at each other.
Bloody hell, that hasn't happened for a moment. He says,
Who the hell are you?
Shylock said that you would be needing help, so I am here to help. This is your home. Where do you want me to put my bags?
Does this mean I don't get the apartment to myself?
As a reminder, there were like 7 rooms.
Yes.
Walk over, pick up your bags, go to an empty room, and throw them in.
I follow you to it, and yeah, I'll get set up in the room.
This is a fairly eclectic group. The last group you came from was mostly human and elves, and a half-elf. This is a human, a goblin, a tiefling, and some kind of giant insect, praying mantis creature.
We are misfits. Call it like it is.
You seem to fit in just fine.
Yeah, I think the place where I'm from definitely has a wild,
Yep, it does.
wide assortment of people.
This group may actually be more comforting to you than many of the groups you've been around since arriving at the Radiant Citadel for that reason.
So, what is it that you have been working on lately? Are you currently on a case, or are we in between jobs?
We are eating.
Were we ever actually hired for things, or just thrown at problems and told to figure it out? Because that's what it feels like so far.
That was an in-game question, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, great. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that was kind of the business model that my last group operated under as well. So,
Yeah, so I'm sure Shylock will have something eventually. How long
I am
have we been
surprised
here?
he did not send you with something if he thought you needed our help.
no, he just said to follow him, and I thought that's what was going on as I was going to another job.
I probably should start packing. We're gonna
Did you say Shylock showed up?
Yeah, he had knocked on the door and nobody answered the door, so he arrived in the kitchen and was eating some of the leftover bits and bobs from breakfast, and then was threatened by New, so he backed into the kitchen.
No, bring the appetizer out there.
hit New's realm if he got threatened by him.
Right. I'm really surprised he backed back into the kitchen, but I was going to follow up on that later.
When you were brought this direction, Sunshine,
Mhm.
it had started with Shylock attempting to convince you he's just fine as he's attempting to carry your bags, but you picked him up after about 10 feet because he was just dragging them.
Yeah.
As you, oh, sorry. Let's rewind a second. You guys were wondering what happened to Shylock. You're not sure, but Mark, as you look around, there is a small chair. You guys had a different grouping of different furniture for this apartment when you arrived. Some of it was dusty, some of it was covered in sheets. There was a set of smaller furniture for kids or the smaller species, smaller races. There is a small chair sitting nearly behind your chair, New, that has a plate and a cup and a fork sitting on it. A clean fork, plate, and spoon sitting on it.
Okay. I am eyeballing the floorboards, trying to find the predator effect.
You give me a perception check.
Do you want passive or an active?
An active, because you are
Okay.
actively perceiving.
Got it.
Are you gonna did you toss flour all over the place so you could see the
Not yet. That was going to be the follow-up if I can't detect him. Nothing like breaded Shylock.
Shylock Schnitzel? Schnitzel?
So gross because he's squishy.
disgusting, actually.
Let's see. 12 plus.
Shylock tempura.
He's like 35 pounds, but when you fry him, he's like a pound and a half because it's just
Yes.
so.
And two hours later, you'll be hungry again.
Yeah.
19.
You don't see the predator effect, but you see his tail as he was like running silently back into the kitchen, and you saw his tail go around the corner after he dropped off the silverware, the extra place setting.
Can I try and bend down and grab his tail?
Sure. Give me a dex check.
That would be that. Eight and 5 is 13.
Give me a roll me a d6.
A 1.
There is a screech as you are now holding a dismembered chameleon monkey tail.
Oh.
And it's still moving.
Yeah, they usually do for several seconds.
Yeah. You, I say, and I will put it back down where I got it from.
Okay. Put that thing back where it came from. Rosa, help me.
And
God.
then I will start cleaning up the rest of the stuff in the kitchen and thoroughly ignore him.
So you guys were still eating breakfast.
Yeah, I'm not taking their plates if they were still eating.
Okay.
I'm just cleaning up the cooking part of it.
I didn't know if you were going to offer him a plate, which is why he gave you a plate.
Yeah, except for the part that I've already breaded all the schnitzel and handed it out to everyone. So that's going to be real hard to do.
Shylock magic. There's another serving.
Okay. So you start cleaning up, and you see that he's already started. I mean, it's not to your level, but Shylock was putting pans back where they belong and dishes back, like, up where they can be washed and stuff. Which seems strange for someone of his stature. He is nowhere to be found.
I will say out loud, come get your tail, and I'll figure out something to make for you.
Keck, does he still have a tail?
No, I didn't pick it up to eat it.
Okay.
I only asked.
Nothing happens, Mark.
Okay. I'm still gonna start cooking something
Okay.
that'll probably pull him out of the woodwork or the walls or wherever he is. And I'll put his tail on his plate in the meantime while I'm working.
Oh, that plate wasn't meant for him.
The little one?
It wasn't a little plate. It was a little chair. The plate and the cup and the fork were for Sunshine.
Right. I'll put it on. I'm sorry. I'll put it. Oh, I see. I thought you were saying it was a little plate and a little chair for Shylock.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So yeah. So I will put the tail on the little chair then.
Okay.
And I will, if Sunshine reappears, I will ask him, "Have you had something to eat this morning?"
Yeah, he'll come back down. He could always eat more because he burns through a lot of it. And in fact, like if we're gonna go adventuring, he needs to carbo load anyway.
Okay. I will spend some money, and I will make carbo load. You say?
He makes one giant noodle.
Yeah.
No,
it's a noodle that I can just carry around and just gnaw on as we walk.
I'll actually I'll start another pan of orange cake.
Okay.
It's just a ball of gluten.
Yeah, that's the he wants carbs.
Oh, I apologize, Mark. You also, when Ulfric had shown up to talk to you about prepping for Irandi's heading out,
Yes.
he gave you 66 gold
Okay.
and
Stand
12
by
silver.
one. Okay. Stand by one. I need to figure out where I put that on my sheet so that I can add it. Did I put it on my sheet? I guess it's just in the notes then. Yep. I will. 66 and 10, you said.
66 and 12.
Oh, 66 and 12. Okay, got it. Thank you. Has it been more than a month
Since when?
since we got here?
It's been you mean in very, very beginning?
Yeah,
It's been 4.
it's been 4 months.
It's been 4
Okay.
months. A little over 4
So-
months.
Okay, so then I will take 5 out of it to send to the guild.
For your membership. Yeah.
Correct. And then do I need to pay a runner to do that?
No, because there's back and forth, right? So we'll say you paid
We
your
don't-
brother, you're fine.
We
Okay.
don't pay Shylock.
Well, we got to find Shylock first.
He's been around. Not always when you need him, and not always when you want him, but he's been around.
I always kind of assume he's like watching. It's just weird.
I need to turn Naomi up. I can barely hear her.
I know, me too.
Hold on. Let me do that. Naomi, turn up. There we go. Can you say something, Naomi?
Is that any better?
Yeah, I just turned you up on my side. It's good.
Okay. As you're cooking, Mark, and you
Yes.
begin to plate the food that you are making, and begin to bring it out to the table, there is another knock at the door. This time of appropriate humanoid height. and it's a
Oh,
gentle knock.
well, I'll answer that.
As you open the door, you see a woman, dark haired. You know her as Speaker Cholet. She's one of the main speakers and the speaker you speak to the most, ironically. And you just saw her, I'm going to say a couple days ago, when you found out the news about Irandi and why he would have to be making his way back home. Um, she says, I'm sorry to be coming to you with this so quickly. Oh, good. Sunshine found his way over here. I was hoping he would be a good fit with your group. We've done some searching, and as it turns out, he arrived the same day as you, almost the same moment as you, in the House of Convalescence.
Okay, but if he came there at the same time as us, why was he just now?
You 7, 8. It's hard to remember how many of you there were. We're grouped together in kind of a party. There was something that connected you all to each other, and it could be felt by some of the ancients here. They could feel that connection between you. And so you were given this apartment, and you've been helping. Um, Sunshine was with a different group, doing slightly different missions. Some in the same vein as you, helping out different civilizations where they needed help, or helping guard convoys to and from locations. But he's been working for a different speaker.
Did he kill the ball of arms?
No.
You missed out.
And the rest of the party still alive?
They are. Most of them were from Sabun Ko and went home. They had come together as a mercenary group and got what what they came for.
And just left him behind.
Well, I'm sure you'll be surprised to know that just like the rest of you, Sunshine has the same mark, the same 9-pointed star. The others did not.
Are there
Okay.
any others with a 9-pointed star that we don't know about?
So
Yeah, I know. You're gonna find some like
It's-
magic things out there somewhere.
it's a very good question. We didn't even know that Sunshine had the same mark until we saw him perform.
I think we should put up posters. Just ask around. That's a project for later. Project.
Anyway, there is a possible connection. The disease we spoke about before that was affecting the peoples here and was affecting the individuals back in Chult, where Irandi was originally from. We fear it may have spread to one of the civilizations connected here to the Radiant Citadel.
I'm going to scoot further away from the rest of the group.
We were hoping that you could look into it. Make sure that hopefully it's not connected, and if it is connected, it will give us a better idea of what we need to do to put a stop to it.
All right, where do we need to go?
Well, there is azure, not azure. Is azure a color?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
There is an azure transportation gem that will take you to San Sidlan, which is a zone in one of the accompanying groups. I'm not sure why it keeps working out this way, but they are about to celebrate a holiday there as well. It's like you guys are following around holidays with your missions.
Aren't we lucky?
But there's been an illness that has affected the people there, and based on the holiday that's coming up for them and what we have heard of this illness, it sounds too similar to not be investigated.
Hmm. Then I will go change, and then we can get ready and go.
Please, please, please tell me you don't come out in just a Speedo.
No, he changes into like it's
French coat above.
no. It's got these like pointed shoulders, and it's very like 80s glam, right? Got a lot of like it's leather, but it's got a lot of like worked in like flames and stuff. He's wearing gloves that have red fur like on the top that end in like yellow talons, and his shorts are this bright, obnoxious yellow that end in like red flames, and he has his knee pads and his boots have that you know that like fringe that was on like the Ultimate Warrior's boots?
Mhm.
Yeah, he has that.
Yep. Okay. I approve of this message. Does he have a mullet by chance?
No, it's like giant like Goku hair.
Okay.
This isn't
So like Paul
flying
Phoenix?
under the radar thing, right? This isn't what our mission is. Not a incognito, because I don't think we can do that.
Yes, you're like looking. I'm like,
I-
leisure clothes is for leisure, work
I-
clothes, and
I'm-
point at myself is for working.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you over his outfit.
No, I know. Who's the bard? Is he the new bard?
Uh,
Are you trying to attract a mate?
Are you asking with your fingers there? Like do this like.
is that it?
Couldn't handle my fingers.
Yes, that's the thing. Shola says, the Azure transportation hub is to the north of the northern part of the distal. I'm not sure where Shiloh is, or where Shiloh is, where. Oh my goodness, brain.
Shylock?
Shylock.
Fuck.
It has been
I
first day of the testing here has been a lot. But I don't know where Shylock is. He said he was going to be here.
I move to the chair, I pick up the tail and I hand it to her. Can you give him this when you see him?
Not again. And she tucks it into a pocket. She says, months ago, you all, through various intermediaries, had questions. And we've tried to find answers for some of these questions. And I believe we're close to some answers, so I'm hoping when you get back, we'll have some of those answers for you. And I really like what you've done with the place, she says, looking around the small apartment that you guys live in.
How much of it is dirt now? Like, is Keck making it more?
That's my
Love you,
room.
bud.
It's yours.
There might be some dirt kind of creeping out from under the door, but that's about it.
It's actually remarkably clean. And none of you recall actually doing any cleaning.
Oh, unseen servant.
I definitely don't recall it.
Not mine anymore. I dismissed it.
I mean, it could be Shylock, and then we'd all feel bad.
I mean,
No.
we all.
Yeah, speak for yourself there, Cham.
I didn't do anything to him.
Honestly, I don't have it other than creepy and the stomach mouth saying he feeds Chad while I'm gone, so we're cool.
Well, I guess we will prepare ourselves and head towards the Azure teleportation crystal or transportation
Thank you.
crystal.
You're
welcome.
Please let us know if there's anything we can do to help, but also whatever you find out. And she starts to walk out and then says, "Oh, I forgot this." And coughs up a lung. As she turns around, she's carrying a medium-sized chest. You're not sure where she got it from. She didn't have it a moment ago, and she didn't grab it like off of something outside. And she heavily places it on the table. The table creaks under its weight. And she says, "We've been collecting, and we really appreciate your help." And bows to you in a formal half bow, and then leaves the door open.
Shylock's got to have an escape route.
Please give me a. Actually, what are your guys's? Let me. It's been a while, so let me get totals really quick. I'm gonna be asking for your passive perception.
21.
It's so crazy.
That's so wild. 12.
13 for me.
One second.
Oh, perception. Sorry.
Is it different?
Yeah. Still 12.
Okay.
How do I calculate that again?
It's 10,
It should be on your sheet.
It should be on your sheet, but it's 10 plus your wisdom. 10 plus your perception modifier. So it's as if you rolled a 10.
Yeah, mine's a 10.
I thought so. Yeah. Okay.
17.
Oh, jeez. Yours went up, didn't it?
Well, that was because I got to take that.
Expertise.
Yep.
Okay. As you guys are watching her leave, New and Prue, you're watching her. Everyone else is kind of focused on the fairly large chest she just dropped on the table. Both of you see that her shadow is not a human shadow.
Was it shaped like?
You're not entirely sure, but it is massively larger than it should be for where the light is coming from and her size.
I mean, I guess that's one way to use illusion magic. Lose a few pounds, right?
Maybe she's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, there we go.
That doesn't sound right. Never mind. I was going for a Doctor Who joke. But
In
that
here,
didn't
Mark.
work.
In here.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Yep.
in here.
Yep.
In her soul. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So I don't.
Okay. What do you guys want to do to get prepared?
Well, I'm going to open the chest first. Duh.
I'm gonna
Duh.
fill a water cask or one of those water skins full of freaking wine based on that outfit.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is
And I
our
find my most colorful outfit because the guy cannot be.
is our apartment complex building thing series of rooms on the ground floor?
So, it is 2 stories tall and has the walkways on either side overlook the dining room, and then there's a kitchen off and back. There are bathrooms on each floor, but they're a shared bathroom. And the rooms are all of the bedrooms are almost identical. And there's 3 rooms. All of the bedrooms are on the second floor, except for one, which is on the first floor, on the opposite side of the kitchen. So, dining room, and then kitchen, and on the other side is a bedroom, and then 3 bedrooms upstairs, 3 bedrooms upstairs.
Are you guys okay with my bedroom being the one on the ground floor?
I think that's what we had said because you wanted to bail out the window.
I think that's
Previously.
right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was shoveling dirt into that window for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Are there 2 floors?
There are 2 floors, so the rest of the bedrooms are on the second floor.
I'll be on the second floor.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go in my room and to get my gear, and you guys you'll start hearing stuff that sounds like it's below you, and then I'll come back out and close my door.
While you're gone, the whole apartment building collapses in on itself.
Sinkhole. If you go in my room, there's no holes.
Mark, after the conversation, I'm assuming, so tell me if I'm incorrect, but you move into the kitchen to start rolling up your travel kitchen set.
Yeah. Yes, but first I'm opening the chest.
Right. We started saying that, and then a whole bunch of other stuff happened.
Right.
Yes, the chest is about 2 feet wide by a foot deep and 1 foot by 1 foot by 2 feet. And it is filled with gold, and you can see rubies interspersed.
I will quickly start tallying all the gold into piles of 10.
In there are 15 rubies, about the size of like the last part of your thumb, the joint of your thumb, and roughly 500 gold pieces.
So
Each of the rubies is about 10 gold pieces of ruby.
okay. So I will. Well, luckily this will be easy. I'll set aside stacks of 3 for the rubies, and then 100 gold with the 3 rubies for each of us.
Okay.
So everybody gets 100 gold and 3 rubies worth 10 gold apiece, including the new guy.
Little walk around money.
I don't know if you had money from your previous adventures, but this should help get you started.
Remind me to talk to you about
More
that
than that.
afterwards, Andres. Because
Yeah.
you do have a little bit, but I'll talk to you about that off.
For sure.
Now, given that, is there anything that you guys want to get or supplies that you need to get or things you want to look into before you start heading towards the Azure? Her tone of voice indicated that while this was high on their list of investigating, it's not something that's going to, you have to head out in 15 minutes. You could probably go tomorrow even and be okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna spend 10 gold for 100 portions of ingredients for everything and just put them in the bag.
Okay. So Marsh went out, New went out to go and track down some ingredients.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Nope. I'm gonna hold on to this stuff for now.
Okay.
Actually, if it's okay with you, I'll just use one of the 3 rubies to barter for it all.
Okay.
Because it's the same cost. If that's okay.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Have we found a place to buy healing potions?
So, you
Hello.
saw a couple places in the night market that did sell things like that, but you know for a fact SIBO not only found most of the places that would sell that kind of thing, he can make some of it himself.
I
was
actually
hoping you said
just
that
got
in
the
character
ability.
in front of him.
I actually just got the ability at level 4, I believe, to make potions of climbing, potions of growth, potions of healing, water breathing, and a universal solvent.
That's awesome.
Now,
Did anybody run into anyone who can cook? Maybe can we go to somebody who can cook some food?
so it's like
Telling me I
I was gonna say also, like G.I. Josh said in the chat, the disrespect for SIBO. But then I remembered the only time we've ever seen him heal anyone was through explosions. So to be fair, I don't know that we 100% know as a group that you can actually heal people and not murder them.
How?
Clearly, your traumas have gotten to you.
No, that was out of character, not in character at all.
So I will just kind of in this downtime, I will have probably come to each of you and given you, let's see. I gave each of you 2 potions of healing.
So, how? I might have to get with you offline to figure out how this might work.
Okay.
Are these like marks where they're good for the day? Are they like an artisan?
These actually cost, these cost me reagent die.
Okay.
So
they're
and it
similar
says
to.
you can spend.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let me see here. It says you can spend 10 minutes and expend any number of reagent dice to brew potions. These potions retain potency for 24 hours, after which they become inert. The potion calls for a saving throw. It uses your bomb save DC. So basically, I can just earmark it that I use that many reagents to provide each of you 2 potions each day.
That's awesome. Okay.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. That being said, there have been places where you could look into buying mundane and magical equipment, potions, ingredients, reagents. There's enough different areas from different cultures all over the place that you can find what you're looking for, probably.
Need to save up for that diamond.
And just so that you and I are on the same page, Dan,
Mhm.
I've got a bullseye soup, a garden curry, 2 orange cakes, a shrimp cake, and black pepper jerky, and a prosciutto bruschetta. And I spent one of the oak smoked schnitzel for today in the breakfast morning.
Right. Because you were practicing
I-
it overnight and
Correct.
okay. All right. Okay. So did anybody else want to go in search of something? Do you still want to go in search of healing potions with the 2 that you currently
No.
have? Okay.
Have you found a place that can make weapons?
They can make weapons? Yeah, you've seen a
Yeah.
handful of blacksmiths that focus on that don't focus on weapons, but they have a lot of weapons in their stock, which shows you they can make them. You know, this isn't a place of war, so they're not gonna make swords all day. But there's definitely places that you've seen that have the ability. Yes, weapons and armor. And
Is it something where I think that I could get a better version of a weapon I have?
what do you mean by better version? Like a magical weapon?
I guess. Like, if I have my glaive, is there a way to get a better glaive?
There are ways to get other glaives that might be made of different materials or that may be enchanted. You've only seen 1 or 2 places in all of the places that you've been so far that you might be able to find an enchanted weapon. But you might be able to find like a silver weapon or something like that, though they can sometimes be pricey just on their own.
Hmm. I'll wait for now.
Okay. Wow. That's actually not that expensive. Okay. You, unless someone says otherwise, prep up. And after getting the small bits of equipment that you need to replenish your stock, you may start making your way to the northern part of the distal, the Ta'al distal. You, over the past 4 months that you've been here, have gained a real appreciation for the blending of the cultures here, especially at the Radiant Citadel. The glowing pendant that's glowing here while you're on the Radiant Citadel, but does not glow when you're not on the Radiant Citadel, so it still does its job, has allowed you to soak in the many different languages that are being spoken by all of these different people, as if it was in your own tongue. And it has helped you to feel, if not at home, about as close as you could. Um, it's been a long time that you've been here, kind of soaking that in, eating the food of these different cultures, listening to the music, and of course, going out into these different cultures the times that you have, all the times you've been to the night market, etc. And as you make your way through, again, the smaller marketed areas and various sellers hawking wares, you get to this large azure gemstone that is almost angled and hanging off the edge of the distal, floating over the maelstrom that is the storm. Not for the first time, you wonder at the purpose of the storm. If it's meant to protect the peoples of the Radiant Citadel, if it's keeping something else at bay, or if it's standing out in its own way, if it's part of the reason they can survive here. And you make your way to this gem taxi, essentially, and start lining up. there was a different message. Yep. Um, you all walk up, touch the Azure gemstone, like you have on multiple other occasions, and you're transported within it, like a shuttlecraft. Takes you from here out, hovering over the empty air, just until you hit the inside edge of that giant storm cloud, and boom, you're hovering over a gigantic desert. There are yellows
Ooh.
and reds heavily present in the tundra and giant stone buttes, and it gently sets down. You can see that the area it sets down in has a bunch of other small azure gemstones in a circle around it, almost like a mushroom circle, but they're the same kind of gemstones as the main gemstone itself. Um, and you are deposited into the warm desert air. Surrounding you, let's see, where is it? There. And move you there. You guys can see that, right?
Ooh.
Surrounding you is an arid landscape filled with brush that is just shy of being dry and dead. Joshua trees in the distance. You can see there is a road that goes past this circle of stones. And off in the distance, you can see the makings of maybe a town, but it's hard to tell past the mirage effect that you're getting from the warmth here. Um, you can't really tell the difference in humidity when you're at the Radiant Citadel, but you can tell it here. Almost immediately, the wind blowing up this dust makes it a little bit more difficult to breathe. The warmth is it's probably 30 or 40 degrees warmer than you were at the Radiant Citadel. And the sun, while not directly above you, is pointing towards probably late afternoon.
I'm moving around a little faster than I normally do, and I'm stretching because I'm excited because I love this.
This is
This is Keck's.
definitely...
Yeah,
Parasol comes out.
Keck loves this.
I don't need a sunburn.
What comes out?
Parasol.
Parasol.
I will be probably taking my chef's whites off and just wearing a undershirt.
Okay.
Who has the handy haversack?
That's a good question. Who does have the handy haversack? It's essentially a backpack version of a portable hole unlike a portable hole where you kind of just have to reach around and figure out what you're grabbing, a handy haversack, you say what you want and it arrives at the top of the pack.
I could use it for alchemy, but
Well, I mean, in theory, all y'all are going to use it. It's
Mhm.
just who's carrying it.
I should not, because I should not mix portable dimensions on my person.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I guess it would make sense to see what does it.
Yeah, I'll carry it. I don't care.
Okay.
And look like a person.
Sure, I guess. Prue
It does now.
folds the handy haversack in half, and it looks like a large purse, but it looks like a purse.
Fashionable. I saw you Facebook.
I may have to roll back my comment about making that many potions in a day.
Yeah.
I have to reread the reagent die.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
and all things being equal, you can still hold them on your person and hand them out before you think combat might start. You
What I
may...
mean is, I don't think I could brew that many.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say that seemed high.
It did seem high. Welcome to San Sitlan. It is a wide area, wide dusty area. Clouds rush overhead and dust swirls around the road to the village of Milpazul, which sits atop a hill overlooking a vast semi-arid valley. The road ends at a wooden archway and a low, dry stone wall that surrounds most of the settlement. As you near, a man on horseback spurs his mount and vanishes into the village. You guys have seen, like, adobe buildings, and I really don't want to make this similarity, but I know my audience. It's essentially buildings like you might see in the Three Stooges, that style. No, Three Stooges, Three Amigos. I'm telling you, man.
It's alarming how often those two
Was-
coincide.
My brain.
I'm worried about you.
Yeah, I was like, you mean normal buildings? I'm confused.
Yeah. I'm like, does one of the buildings have a Shemp haircut? I'm so confused.
Oh man.
Three amigos.
I have a lot. I have
This is why
a
we can't
lot
have nice things,
of
Dan.
other references, but I don't know how many people actually watch a lot of the movies and stuff I watch. But it's white, smooth stone buildings. There's a wall about waist height that goes around the majority of the village. There are open ways, like almost like gate doorways, except they're doors that are shut most of the time. That are wooden, that would block entry into the town, except you can hop over the wall because it's waist height. And there are a handful of buildings in this small town, some of them 2-story, some of them 1-story, but all of them sharing the same smooth stone sides with wooden beams coming out in places that show where their beam supports are.
Are there like people out and about, or is it kind of like a ghost towny? Type of
So
situation.
where you guys are right now, you saw when you were coming up a little bit, you saw the guy on the horse, rush into the town. What are you guys doing? How are you approaching the town? What are you looking at?
I mean, I'm not trying to hide.
Yeah, I mean, I'm.
We'd let Swagger out front, right?
New. You notice that something is wrong. Within the waist-high village wall, a dozen or so wooden adobe houses surround a well. A worn-out sign hangs crookedly from the arch, proclaiming in fading blue paint, "Welcome to Milpazul." But that welcome
Gesundheit.
What? Oh. But that welcome is contradicted by angry voices and cries of pain coming from behind the building.
Is New the only one that sees this?
He's the one that sees it first.
You don't mention it?
Sounds like there's some kind of fighting going on.
As you guys kind of listen
Take
in,
off running.
you also hear the angry voices which have been drowned out by the wind and cries of pain.
Then yeah, I'll take off running for that.
I'll head that way too.
The whole Scooby van goes.
How far away is that?
Maybe not at a fast-paced run. I'm going to let the runners go first because I don't know what's going on and how aggressively we should run towards it.
Dan, how far away is that happening?
About probably 60 feet. Give me
As we're going,
Yep.
I'm going to turn and kind of take off running after them. And I'm going to pull one of my fancy dancy new bombs out of my pocket and throw it ahead of me.
Okay.
About 30 feet.
See, anytime from now on, anytime Shank wants to know distance, I know what's coming.
And I'm gonna yeet one of these potions 30 feet ahead of me. And in a blink, I am 30 feet ahead of them, almost to the corner of the building.
Everyone roll me a perception check, Shank, with advantage.
15.
You said perception with advantage?
Yep.
26.
Oh,
Shouldn't have been asked.
21.
22.
Jeez Louise.
We see everything.
What did you get, Keck?
15.
Okay.
So as I come out of the blink, I trip and skid to a halt just next to the corner of the building, so I don't see anything. I rolled a 1 on my perception check.
With advantage.
Oh God, that's right. Hold on. Crap, never mind. Let me roll this back again.
Watch him roll a 27. So he trips, he slides the edge of the corner of the building, and then springs up.
Is it 20?
It is a nat 20.
You blink, and you have
Both literally and figuratively.
While you understand the science behind the bomb you created, you haven't practiced with it very much. And as you were going into the blink, you tripped. So coming out of the blink, you are already falling and go into a dive and roll and slide in the dirt right up to the corner of the building without passing the corner. Freaking amazing. So you guys needed a 13. It says if they get a 15 or higher, they get the other stuff, and all of you rolled above a 15. So good on you. You all notice villagers peering out from their homes. You see twitches of curtains as you pass by. You see people staring up from darkened rooms beyond. You all also hear movement behind the wall. And as you come around the corner, especially you right up on them, Shank, 7 figures spring up from behind the wall on the other side, aiming longbows at the group. "Clear out," one of them shouts. La Paloma pays for her crimes this day. Without hesitation, they attack. So let's roll initiative. You guys all rolled so well, I'm not going to have a surprise round. Because they were laying an ambush, but you guys all rolled really well.
And I'm not making this up, as we were running forward, I was going to say that I was going to pull out the prosciutto bruschetta, the one that I had made.
Prosciutto bruschetta. Okay.
Prosciutto bruschetta.
13 for initiative.
Okay.
20.
4.
8.
15. What was the lowest one?
4.
4. Let me read this real quick. Okay.
I blame G.I. Josh.
I will.
G.I. Josh.
I will eat the prosciutto bruschetta. And Andres roll a d20 and add 4. And that is your new initiative.
We nine.
Hey, that's twice as good as where you were.
Crow, you got an 8, right?
Yes, sir.
It's funny. I wasn't going to have a surprise round, but I might as well have because you guys are all going first. Naomi. There are 7 what looks like hard-ridden fighters that popped up on the other side of this wall, and they all have longbows pulled back, ready to fire at you guys. They are definitely a mercenary group. They have that look about them. And several of them wear the same brownish red bandana around their neck or around their head, wrapped around their arm.
Okay, just making sure, do they seem to be attacking were they the ones attacking the townsfolk or the townsfolk behind them? Because we rolled pretty high. Perception.
Fair point. Fair point. I'll make that a little bit clearer. As you guys had kind of seen around the corner before these guys popped up, there was a handful of townsfolk beaten, laying on the ground. So you would, using insight, you would think these guys were the ones beating the townsfolk. And had set up an ambush because of the guy on the horse that was dressed the same as these guys.
Okay. How close are they together?
We're gonna say they're side by side. So 7 of them in a row.
Okay, come on. Like, yeah, I'm gonna grab that piece of mica.
Mm-hmm.
And we're flinging it because it was so successful last time, and of course this has to be my first one out of the box. But if I can just get them knocked down, that would be great. I want to just see, how far away did you say they were?
They're about 20 feet away from you and about 10 feet away from Sibo.
I can get it behind them. Just hold on.
There's not a map, right?
No.
Okay. So it's within 60 feet, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go aiming straight for the middle.
Mm-hmm.
About... He's Sibo's 10 feet closer to us than the guys, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go for about 2 feet behind the middle guy.
But they're in 5-foot increments.
I'm gonna knock as many down as I can. I'm rolling a fucking bowling ball here. I mean, freaking, hi, sorry.
I mean, it took like an hour and 15, so that's good.
Yeah, I feel that I've had conversations about this too. But I'm using expletives that will not be said
So
here. And
it's a 10-foot. It's a 10-foot radius, right?
right.
So at
It will
most,
probably
at most, you'll hit
be-
4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can do the 4 on the end and just not be near him.
Back to the other ones.
Perhaps.
Yeah. But yeah, I knocked them down. Shatter.
Okay. So can you do me a favor? There's a saving throw for that, right?
Yes, and I am looking it up.
Yeah. Pull up that spell.
Constitution saving throw. And 10-foot radius spear. So if there's anything underground, they're kind of screwed too.
Sorry, Kex family.
Wow.
All right, so 2 were able to save, because I know your saving throw, and 2 were not able to save. So I think 2 get half damage and 2 get not half damage.
$16 points of damage.
Jeez Louise. As you fling your piece of mica, what does it sound? What is the loud, echoing sound that can be heard for miles all around?
Well, these are like little pieces of mica that have the holes in them, so they make that horrible like squealing sound, almost like those fireworks that go off and just make that horrible streaming
Oh, the
sound.
Saturn missile batteries.
Yeah, like that stuff. And so you'll hear that, and then it's a loud screeching explosion once it hits.
There's a loud screeching sound, and you see the 2 on the right. They close their they almost go into convulsions as their eyes fly open and they fall back, crashing into the people next to them. And you can see that the 2 next to them, seeing that coming at them, not knowing what the micro was, kind of ducked a little bit, and they still took blasts of this sonic barrage as it encompassed them, but it didn't knock them out for the count. They look disturbed, they look probably a little intimidated, and they're now all focused on you.
Seeing all the attention on me, I'll look over at, okay, so we got Keck and Sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
They're still right around my area.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at them. I'm going to be like, game faces. Game faces. Dude, yeah. And your bardic inspiration.
To who?
For one of them, right?
I can do 2, I thought.
I think
Or
it's a bonus action, right?
It's a bonus action.
Yeah, so it's a bonus action unless it says you can do 2. I think you have to pick one.
Okay, so pick one. Who's closest to them, or who's between them and me?
Both of them are.
It's gonna be Keck because I fought with Keck before. Sorry.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm not properly vetted yet. I get it.
Sorry, what did you say I got?
Bardic inspiration. Go ahead, Naomi.
I'm still reading up. Hold on. I think it's a plus D6 to attack.
Attack, saving throw, ability check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah, it's a D6 inspiration die. So you add that to those. And you get one of them.
And Mark.
I am going to what does
contemplate.
what does the initiative order look like? Are we allowed to know that?
I don't think so, but are you looking?
Okay.
Are you looking for someone specific?
I don't know. Just before they go, basically.
Everyone, all of you.
Which we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know.
Well, I already said. I already let it.
I know, but but I see we wouldn't know. Okay. I think what I will do is, who seems to be further ahead right now, Keck or Sunshine?
I have a 40 movement speed.
Sunshine.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but Sibo's even further ahead than that.
Yeah.
You're right, but I don't think Sibo's going to throw himself into battle per se. He'll just lob
Well, I'm
grenades.
going to throw something.
Right. Yeah, that's my point. I'm going to use my action to fling a shrimp cake at Sunshine. And I will shout, catch this and eat it.
I'll do it.
Honestly, this is a perfect test to see if he's good for your team. Because if he can't catch and won't eat it right away without
So I deflect missiles and throw it back at you.
So you gain resistance to one damage type of your choice for the direction.
I'm gonna go with piercing.
Probably
Okay,
smart.
so that's for 1 minute. And then I will... Yeah, that's... Unless I actually eat something, that's my only... You know what? I will... No, I will not do that. So yes, that will be my action for the turn. And I've finished moving up to behind the corner because I don't want to be shot.
Okay.
That was really smart to look for cover. That would have been really smart.
They currently have cover. All right. Next is Sibo.
How tall is the building I'm snuggled up next to?
26, 27 feet. And it's 2 stories.
I'm going to pull another one of my new bombs out of my pocket.
Okay.
And I'm going to yeet it straight up over my head and onto the roof. And when it goes off, I'm standing on the roof.
Yep.
So cool.
You poof up onto the roof. It is...
Do those bombs only work for you, or can we throw those?
You can throw them too.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
They follow the same rules as potions. They're good for 24 hours.
You're wearing boots, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you arrive on top of this roof, you see that there's gravel up here, but it's also boiling hot. Like, you can feel it through the soles of your boots. Hot. Does
that heat extend onto the edges of the building?
Yeah, it's just up here. You guys haven't been on top of the touching the buildings yet, really. But
Okay.
there's no shadow up here, whereas there was shadows down below. You also see there is a table up here. It looks like an old heirloom type table, and a couple of chairs and an umbrella. Love you. That makes this like maybe a lounge spot for some of the townsfolk, but it's on the other side of the fairly small roof from where you're standing.
I'm going to keep looking in the direction of our attackers. Is it still just the few of them?
There are 4 of them left. Give me a perception check.
Uh, 3.
Yep, there are 4 of them here. You see wounded villagers on the ground almost right below you, right? Just like I described from before. And you see from this vantage point, there are other clusters of wounded elsewhere in the town.
So from up here, due to my elevation, do I have a clear line of sight to them?
You have a clear line of sight to the ones below you. The other groupings of like huddled figures are, I would say, probably outside your range.
60 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. So the ones that are in range of me, I'm going to kind of peek down over the roof. I'm going to point my finger like a gun right at them. bang,
And it's
and I'm gonna roll to hit.
okay.
Kenny Omega appears with a V trigger.
Roll with advantage.
Okay. 14.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So from the roof where I'm standing, you see me hold my finger out like a gun, and you hear me. You can barely hear me up there, but bang! And as I do it, you see you see one of the guys. Let me see here. What's the damage for this? 1d8. That is a 7. Force damage.
I really thought you were aiming at the huddled mass right below you. Of like villagers.
No.
Which of the 4 that are left were you aiming for?
One. If there's one,
There's 2 that are pretty wounded, and 2 that look
I'll
like.
aim for one of them.
Okay.
And from my fingertip, you just see this bolt of energy fly down off the roof and nail this guy.
It strikes him true, and he's barely standing up. You can see he's leaning heavily against the wall in front of him, the waist-high wall, but he's gonna shoot. The other 3 look extremely nervous about how quickly the situation is turned.
I'm posting what I just did in the Laughing Corpses chat because I about fell over laughing when I saw that ability.
Finger guns.
Finger guns. I saw it in your character sheet and wondered what it was. Okay. Are you done?
Yeah, that'll be it for me.
And just for sake, throwing the teleportation grenade, is that a bonus action?
Let me go back and look for you. Teleportation bomb. By replacing your bomb's explosive contents with a glowing crystal, you can change it into a teleportation bomb. Teleportation bomb deals no damage and instead opens a rift in space, instantly teleporting you to its point of detonation. This effect fails if the bomb explodes more than 40 or more than 30 feet away from you.
So do the grenades normally cost a action for an attack? Because if yes, then that's your answer.
I believe the answer is yes there.
Okay, so I'm not going to go back on it. Oh no, bonus action. No, yeah. Finger guns is a bonus action. Awesome.
Yeah,
Yes.
so there you go.
Yep. Ridiculous.
Finger guns is a bonus action for a D8.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said ridiculous. Andres.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up to a fresh one.
Okay. You run up to one of them, and as you're running up, he's dropping his bow, starting to flail about, reaching for what you assume is some kind of weapon, but he is not fast enough. Go ahead.
Cool. I'm gonna do my hill strike on this if I hit. Do that. That's 20.
You know, I do it, right? I do the thing, and then... Is that one? Yeah. I set it up and I don't use it. You said a 20?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 20 hits, yeah.
So that's gonna be 10 points of damage altogether. And I need them to give me a strength saving throw. 13 is the number.
13 is the number?
Uh-huh.
They got a 12.
That's it. So yeah, I run up and I jump over the wall that they're hiding behind, and I sling blade this guy so he lands prone on the ground, and then I hop on top and I start ground and pounding this guy. So I'm going to spend a key point to do flurry of blows.
What was the thing you did?
It's a hill strike, the hill giant strike.
Oh, right. I know.
Which is
Yep.
kind of like it's kind of like a smite that I can throw on top of things.
Yep. I remember
I
that
get
now.
2 of those a day.
Yep. And so that was your attack action, and this is your flurry of blows because that was an unarmed attack. Gotcha.
Right. So the first one is a 12.
That hits.
So that'll be 9 points of damage.
Yeah. He done.
Cool. Then I'll spend that other attack on the one that's wounded.
So, because they were in a line, I'll move this one over. I was having you attack the one on the left. I'm gonna have you attack this
Then I'll
one.
attack the fresh one. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay because I rolled a 6.
Yeah. He blocks your punch with the bow. Jeez.
And that's my turn.
And Crow. Okay.
Can I make it to any of them that are standing?
Oh yeah.
Okay. How do they look physically?
So, one looks like he's barely holding on. He's been blasted with some kind of finger magic. He's been hit with sonic punches.
Would you say? Never mind.
Yeah, he was finger blasted. And he was finger blasted hard.
It is no longer finger guns. It is now finger blasted for the rest of this campaign.
Well, I think he said bang, so he's been finger banged.
He was. You know what? I take it back. He was finger banged. He was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sonic talent for finger banging.
Sonic. He was Sonic, and then he was finger banged. And then there's one that was just Sonic, and is trying to hold his buddy up while still aiming with the bow, but he's starting to freak out a little bit because there's now a fairly large, comically colorful fighter that just came up and started railing on him, knocked out his buddy in like one punch over the wall, and so in the end, you have...
I'll go to the guy that's barely standing because we might as well get rid of him.
Yep.
And I will swing my glaive at his face.
This is entirely my fault because I didn't ask enough questions of the GM.
Do I have to say I'm going to use my Bardic Inspiration before?
No, you can roll the dice first and decide
Okay.
after the dice are rolled.
I'm going to do
before
that
I tell you, it has
Before they say...
before you tell me, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to add my Bardic Inspiration. You said that was a D6.
to hit, yeah.
So 15 to hit.
Yep. That hits.
All right. And 8.
Yeah, your glaive slices deeply into the space between his head and shoulder, and he drops heavy on the other side of this low wall.
All right, and then I will turn and roar at the remaining guys. And that'll be my turn.
Okay.
Is this character fashioned after your Tyrannid deck?
Yes.
Got it.
I need a attack. Do you have your reaction?
We didn't hear the first part of that.
I know, I'm thinking. Okay. I need an attack of opportunity. This is ridiculous. From Keck. As the one
Okay.
catty corner from you is taking off. the others are taking off as well, but unless you have something that gives you back your reaction, Andres, you don't currently have a reaction.
I do have a reaction because it was on my turn came up.
Yeah.
So,
He used his reaction before his turn.
Uh huh.
but where does that reaction come from? But for
You regain your reaction
When
when it's your turn.
even if you use it outside your turn.
We were in
he
combat.
used it before his turn.
Yeah.
We were in combat.
So
But
turn zero, before any of the bad guys got to act, I threw the thing and he used his reaction. Then it was his initiative. He regained all of his actions back, including his reaction.
It wasn't turn 0, it was turn 1, and you used your action to do that. It wasn't a surprise round. I'll look it up later,
Right.
but
Right, but regardless, he'd get it back when it's his initiative. He used the prior turns.
so you get
reaction.
3 reactions up to your point.
No, you get one reaction up to your point, which he used up to his point, and then it became his point, and all of them reset again. He gets a move, a bonus action, and action, and his next from this turn to next turn reaction back.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, I just disagree.
So once you roll initiative, you basically have a reaction.
And every time we've played it, which is why I'm confused, Mark, because I was playing a monk before and it was using my reaction before my turn when I would do things before my turn. I would give up that reaction for the just roll a
Do it that way.
roll a attack opportunity. I would not be able to deflect arrows and stuff in that turn before.
With my attack reaction, can I go for a grapple?
It's just an attack opportunity, so it's
It's
just
just an attack opportunity.
yeah, it's just an attack opportunity.
I rolled a natural 20 for my reaction hit.
Well, that's a hit.
Nice.
And I got a 19.
That is also definitely a hit. So go ahead and roll damage.
6.
And that's
Do you think each village has their own unique murder hobo folk song?
so 13 total for me.
Probably.
As the rest of these bandits turn to run back, kind of out into the desert, your glaive chops down the next one. You do enough damage to cut him down. The one you take a swing at, kind of off kilter, but he's able to push himself back up from the dirt and run around the corner. There's like a series of rocks about 20 feet behind them, and they run back and around that corner.
Gotcha.
And you hear one of them shouting and what sounds like a whip on something large. You hear a neigh, like a horse whinnying, and the beginning of pounding of feet. You also hear what sounds like a horse angrily whinny. I don't know what the name of that would be. Angrily neigh. And you hear something solid and meaty impact the other bandit, who gets kicked out like he flies 10 feet and lands in the dirt. He's moving slowly, but not well. And you see dust as one of the other ones is heading out into the desert. And it is Naomi's turn.
I'm gonna start going. Okay, so basically, whoever's not down or crawling away ran away, right?
One was able to get away.
Yeah.
Was anybody pulling their punches?
So I was gonna say that last attack that I made was gonna be non-lethal. How far away has that other guy gotten? The one that got away, the one on the horse.
He is currently about 60 feet.
Okay.
That's a future me problem.
The one that got knocked off his horse because he rolled a 1 on animal handling is laying in the dirt. He's breathing heavily, but he's laying in the dirt, not moving. The 2 that the glaive hit are dead. The 2 that the sonic hit are dead. If you did subdual, then that's fine. Oh, I apologize. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. One is about 60 feet away. 1 is laying on the dirt, and 1 is unconscious. The one that you knocked out.
Okay, where are the town? We saw a pile of townsfolk.
Yeah, there's a couple of townsfolk huddled up right like if you look at where Sibo is, right down the wall. So there's a town wall which is about waist height, which is the bandits were on the other side of it. Between the wall and the building, there's like 2 or 3 villagers.
I'm gonna go to them and check them out, like very calmly and like hands up. I come in peace and trying to make sure Sibo's not gonna drop anything on anyone.
Did you want to make a medicine check to see what their status is, or what do you mean? So when you say check on them, what do you mean?
Well, first like asking if they're okay, but yeah, I could do medicine check.
Okay.
And we're still doing turn order, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then
We don't have to,
if
12.
it's
Well, I'm gonna step of the wind and catch that guy.
and that's why we're still in turn order.
Yeah.
okay.
I had something in mind too.
But the immediate threat is gone from the townspeople.
It was for the townspeople.
Yes,
Yes, it would seem so.
I'm
Yeah,
going
that's kind
to.
of I'll be asking about if they're okay. If did those guys hurt them, like very specifically.
I'm going to move to them and start doing a medicine check
Well,
to identify who the worst off ones are.
you will when it gets to your turn.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Did you roll, Naomi?
Yeah, I got a 12 on the medicine check.
Okay. So you're doing your best. Are you done?
But I was asking them while I'm checking on them. Did was anyone else hurt by those guys? Like indicating that those guys were the bad guys, right?
They were the bad guys. Yeah. They're
Okay, cool.
they're nodding. They're not doing much in the 6 seconds of a round, but they're nodding and you can tell they're hurt. Yeah, they're
Okay.
bruised and have some cuts. I wouldn't say that it's life threatening, but they were probably. It seems like they were being beaten up for looking for information, maybe.
Like maybe they were the people sent here before us.
Because if Sibo's hiring just anybody, I don't want to know what kind of chaos he's doing.
Whoa. Don't
Shylock.
drag me into this.
Shylock, not you, sorry. I don't know, which one's our manager? Is that Shylock?
The
think it's
little
Beaker.
worm and lizard like grease ball that Mark hates. That's the manager.
I don't hate him. Don't hate him.
Mark, Dan, what time would you like to take a break, sir?
It's gonna be soon, after this
Okay.
combat.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Mark. You're gonna move up to them and.
Yep. Start medicine check to see who's the worst off, and I rolled a 14.
Okay. There is an older man among them. 2 of these are humans. One is size appropriate for a halfling with pointed ears. Usually the halflings you've seen have rounded ears. This one has pointed ears. And hair pulled up in a top knot. They're all wearing browns and blacks in color, but they're all in similar type clothing. The older man is the most beaten and bloody of the three. Not, like I said before, not life-threatening, but he's taken his lumps today.
And you
So
said we're
I
still in
will.
turn order.
Yes.
Yes, I will pull out the slumbering dragon vessel drinking horn, and I will speak the command word "we," and a potion of healing will form, and I will use it for the man.
Okay.
That's a bonus action, which is the only reason I could do that.
Right.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Sibo. He's looking immediately better, Mark.
Good.
I'm going to drop a teleport bomb off the side of the building and zip down to the ground next to the group.
Okay.
And I've got to go back and look at this really quick.
Goblin Nightcrawler.
Something like that. I gotta find this specific. Oh, it's under. That's right. It's under the apothecary. Unsure if this will actually do anything other than perhaps accelerate people feeling better. I will pull out another bomb and smash it into the ground after priming it, and it explodes in a haze of kind of a bluish green mist, and it gives everybody 1d8 plus half my alchemist level and temporary hit points. It's a painkiller bomb.
Oh.
And that is six hit points until the end of my next turn.
You can see that they're feeling better, but Mark, as you're doing both of you, both Mark and Prue, both New and Prue, are doing like med checks. You can see that they're feeling better, they're breathing better, but it's not a long-term action. Like it's not a long-term fix.
I just figured it might actually kill the pain while they're kind of recovering from
True that.
their very ugly afternoon. So.
True that. Are you done?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Andres.
Yeah, I'm gonna move and then bonus action step of the wind to move again.
Okay.
It gives me 80 feet of movement, so I can catch the horse. And then I'm gonna try and don't hit him. He looks fresh, huh?
He looks fresh, yeah. And I would also like to know how you're planning on stopping the horse, or stopping him on the horse.
I can shove him off of it because he is a separate creature. So if you shove, it pushes him 5 feet, so he'd be off the horse.
Or you could just German suplex the horse.
You can. Is that in the rules for shove?
Shove.
The shove also include mechanics for chops.
For chops. Oh, I see what you're saying.
What are you asking about, Shove?
Target must succeed on a strength or dexterity saving throw, or you either push it 5 feet away or cause it to be knocked prone. The shove is possible only if the target is no more than one size larger than you. So I guess it's up to you whether or not that's possible, because the target is humanoid, but the horse is not. So you're counting the two of them together, then they'd be a large creature, and then I want to be able to shovel.
So, I need to find out where the rule specific is, but it says shove off a horse means use a strength athletics check to successfully push off a horse, successing the rider to fall off. If you successfully shove, the rider must make a dexterity saving throw to stay mounted, otherwise they fall off and land prone near the horse.
So they essentially get 2 tries to stay on.
All the situations, yeah. Which, I mean, they're on a saddled horse with their feet in the stirrups.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or you can use the shove action to try and knock the horse prone, which could dismount the rider, I suppose, too.
Horse is a lot stronger than I am, but
True
That
that.
can also backfire spectacularly.
Yep, sure could.
go for it. I'm going for it. Let's try and trip up the horse.
You're gonna trip up the horse?
Yeah.
I say go for it. You only orc once.
You only orc once, right?
Great to see this happen.
So
Wait, let's go with the Warhammer 40k philosophy. If they believe it, it can happen.
I'm just imagining you do a drop toe hold to a horse.
it's
Mid
a
gallop.
13, Dan.
I was hoping for a dragon screw, man. Like,
So my plan was to
you
hurricane
take
run
that
the
whole
rider off
horse
of it.
down just by twisting a leg.
Yeah, so talk me through what you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and knock the horse prone. So the horse has to give me a strength or a dex save, and that save is a 13. So what I'm doing is first let's see if you get it. If you get it, then I'll describe something awesome, and if you don't, then I'll describe something equally embarrassing. I'm hoping Dan rolls really bad.
The horse from the 2024.
Uh-oh. Dan, what happened to your background?
Yeah, it's because I'm looking up a website. It happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. They don't have stats for the horse.
I
Let
got
me see.
that. Let me find it. I'm on D&D Beyond right now.
If the horse doesn't have stats,
No,
did it exist in the
I
first place?
have stats for the horse. I do.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I was just looking in the wrong spot. I just wasn't counting on a whole bunch of animal cruelty, so I gotta prep for that next time.
When I'm involved, there's always animal cruelty.
Fair point. I should have been ready.
That's insect cruelty.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see it. Let me know if you're able to get it. because I'm not finding normal horses. I'm finding like creature unicorns, nightmare beasts, nightmare hounds.
Riding horse.
Is it a riding horse or a draft horse?
It's a riding horse. Oh, riding horse.
AC 10.
Oh my god, it's got a strength of 16.
Yep.
I mean, you kind of knew it was going to be like that.
Yeah.
With an 18 on the dice.
Dang it! Alright, so I get ahead of the horse and I try to wrap my legs around its neck to try and like use the force of my body to like turn the momentum so that it dips into the dirt. And I totally botch the move. And get caught in like the stirrup, trip and fall off of the horse instead.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Sure. Oh, thank God I'm trained in these. 22.
You take 2 points of damage and are able to negotiate your way around the stomping heavy hoofbeats around you from not so you're not trampled by the charging riding horse. Which, of course, I have rules for that. Huzzah. Jeez.
Oh, right, because the horse has trample.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, that's
so
my turn.
yeah. There. Yikes. Okay. You're not prone, but you were able to roll into a standing position on the side. The guy on top is scared, the horse is scared, and they are still moving. They're not that far away from you, though, because it's not their turn.
And you said they were 60 feet away?
Yeah.
Attack with the Captain America shield.
Oh no, I'm going to run 30 feet
Uh-huh.
and use my action to dash 30 feet so I'm standing next to the horse with the guy on it.
So you have
And
7.
that is my turn.
That's gross. So dirty.
Is he gonna move?
Try to figure out what to do to get out of this
Because
situation.
this is not, like... That's not the way any of this is supposed to be. The horse took off, and Keck's like, yeah, no problem, fam, I got this. And he just catches up with a charging horse.
I had to use my action.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, I mean, he's still charging.
So he's gonna attempt to move away from me?
The horse is moving away from you.
Okay. Then I will use my opportunity attack on the horse.
Mm-hmm.
And I will roll. And that was a 20. Natural.
You gonna kill this poor horse?
Yep.
I will use non-lethal on the horse. Would I? No, I'm not going to use non-lethal on the horse. Sorry, horse. I would eat the horse.
You gonna eat the horse?
Of course, of course.
And because I hit the creature because of Sentinel, it has a movement of 0 until its next turn. and the damage it does is going to do it 9.
You said 9?
Yeah, so it'd be 18 because of the crit.
Yep. The horse dies. The guy is flung from the horse and also dies.
Suddenly, I
Fall
just feel like
damage.
Keck's like a
Dan
bus.
sounds rather upset about this.
Yes.
You don't want to kill the rider.
Okay. Keck was a bus and the horse ran into it.
I feel like I tried to like knock this horse down, and I like roll to stand up. Then you chop this horse, and I'm just like hit with blood.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. You guys, I'm assuming, unless you want to go and kill off the rest of the bandit camp 2 miles away. Is that what you want to do? Just move out in the desert and kill everything you see? Is that, yeah?
Do we know
I
where
mean, you guys would be able to do it in a turn and a half. From now on, no more normal humans. They're all fiends.
Yes.
Oh, I have a bonus against
Why are
fiends.
all of
Perfect.
these guys chain demons?
Is that what you call biker gang members?
They are now.
Okay.
They're hells. You make your way back, and what have you guys been doing? I'm assuming combat's done, unless you guys want to start attacking village folk too.
I would like to bring one of the horse's legs back with me, and I'm eating it
We're
while
gonna
I
bring
walk
the
around.
horse back.
I assumed. Yeah.
I've been treating people the whole time
Yeah.
as best I
Yeah,
can.
I have
There's-
been too.
There's
I have
also
murdered-
a not wounded horse that's tied up to a Joshua tree around the corner that kicked the other guy. So it's upset, but there's a horse sitting around the corner there as well. There are enough hoof prints in that area to lead you to believe there are probably other horses in this area that may not have been tied up as well, because all 7 of them probably had horses. Naomi, New and Prue and Sibo have been helping at least these 3 villagers.
helping whoever we can, honestly.
Yeah. What do you guys do? There are several bodies of these bandits around. There are 2 that are currently unconscious, and there are a handful of villagers here and in town that you saw as you were moving past, especially you.
The 2 thugs are getting tied up with my 50 feet of hempen rope.
Okay, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Wow, yeah. 5.
You're pretty sure you tied him up well.
Somebody come check this.
You used all 50 feet of the rope. I'm sure they're tied up.
I'm gonna take 20.
What are the rest of you doing as Sibo double checks his knots and then goes, "No, I'm gonna take my time."
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the horse leg. It's like hit it around like it's like a giant club, and I'm gonna offer it out to Prudence so that its hoof is just kind of like flopping. Do you want some?
Nah, I'm good. Thanks, though. As I'm like helping clean a wound on a small child.
You're not dumb. I'm assuming, Sibo, that as you're tying them up, or before you tied them up, you are like checking pockets, removing weapons.
Yeah.
Okay. Each of them had a small quiver with 5 arrows in it, a longbow. All of them had short swords and a small knife. And 2 of them had rolled up wanted posters. The wanted posters at this point are kind of crunched up, and as you roll it out and lay it flat, for the rest of you as well, because I'm sure he's not sitting there while he's tying it up. Maybe that's why he got the 5. You see the wanted poster. It depicts a stern old woman with the name Paloma below her portrait and offering a 500 gold piece reward for her capture.
Does it have a list of crimes? Because usually they do have something.
It does not have a list of crimes, but you may be able to question the 2 currently unconscious bandits.
I'll go over and
Help with that.
check Sibo's rope tying.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
It is.
The disrespect.
Already
As
took one.
He asked for something.
yeah, as Sunshine and Keck were walking back, and the 3 of you were kind of focused on these villagers. Keck and Sunshine, you noted that there were several other villagers. Some of them, most of them dressed in the same browns and blacks, like woven fabrics. Most of them though, most of the others have some pop of color. If it's a desert flower that they've got in like a lapel, or a band of brightly colored woven in like the band of a hat, and they're coming out to greet you, and many of them are thanking you for helping and welcoming you to Milpazul. They head to the more flamboyant of the 2, partially because the giant blood-covered insect is eating a gigantic hawk of horse, which seems to intimidate them a little bit. And it's strange,
You
Sunshine,
don't say.
but a couple of the younger ones seem to liken you to heroes that they're calling by name. You don't recognize any of these heroes, but they're like tugging on the bottom of your shorts or an area of your shoulder pad.
Yeah, I'm like, no, don't wait till I get the blood off.
The makeup of these villagers, the villagers of Milpazul, are probably 30% human, maybe 10% halfling, and the rest seem to be a mixture of dwarf and gnome. Almost all of them have tan, like a darker tan skin. Almost all of them have black hair and darker eyes that have seen a lot for the area that they're in. It is very warm, and especially after you guys have kicked up with the combat, you're sweating. As you come around the corner, helping the villagers to their feet, in the distance, a slender figure tends to the... Oh, I'm sorry. Let's take a break.
Okay.
You guys finished combat, and the villagers came out to thank you for helping them because the bandits were doing what the bandits were doing, and I will get into that more when we come back. So I'm going to hit the break button, and it is 9:10. How does 10 minutes sound?
That's good.
Good?
Sure.
So we'll be back in 10 minutes.
So originally I was going to go with the sorcerer to bring in.
Oh yeah, sorcerers are fun. That's what I played in my last big D&D game. Spell management gets tricky, but they're fun.
Yeah. I was gonna, and then I thought about doing a, what are they called? The spell swords. The wizard where you get get to use a melee weapon as your focus. Because I think probably some more offensive spells we could probably use. But then Naomi just started lighting people up with shatter, so I was like, okay, cool. So I don't think we need that anymore. Yeah, and then I decided on monk so that I could be upfront with you.
Yeah, I think having more up close DPS is going to be good.
But I still have the mobility in case something gets behind us. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured I could throw my shield, but I have Sentinel now, and that's way more fun.
Oh, it's so mean. Yeah, and you reduce the speed to 0.
Mm-hmm.
In my Pathfinder game, my buddy was trying to set it up so that my monk, like, I was gonna be able to like glide or fly or something like that, but then he wanted to try to set me up with Earth Glide so that I could grab somebody, jump up into the air, and do like a pile driver on them, and I would go into the ground, but they would actually still be considered a solid. So I could literally just like pile drive people into the earth, and they would take all the damage, but I was fine.
So in our last D&D game that my brother was running for us, we all played wrestlers. And we played Curse of Strahd. And we killed Strahd in 2 turns. We opened with a crit hit. And then Strahd just did the spider walk and was up on the ceiling. And my brother's plan was to just stand on the ceiling out of reach of everybody and just shoot us with fireballs. I channeled Divinity because I was a paladin and I had the athlete thing. So I throw an extra 10 feet on top of my jump distance. I ran. I had a ring of jumping, so I cast jump on myself. Ran, jumped, grabbed him off of the ceiling, and then went prone and just held him on the floor while everyone beat the shit out of him. And that was the like go-to move, was for me to like grab somebody and then drop prone. Because while they're grappled, their movement 0. So they can't stand up.
That's mean.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back. Okay. As you guys make your way around the corner and into the main avenue, I'm assuming that somebody's bringing the 2 tied up bandits. Or you guys just leaving him back there?
No, I'll grab
Probably
one.
Keck because he can
I think we
carry
will.
them.
Yeah, I can drag one in my other two hands.
One, I think we want to question him too. So yeah, definitely bring him with us.
We
Mhm.
could also put him in Naomi's purse.
Is there oxygen in there?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Another die.
I don't think there is.
Yeah, I don't think there
He'll
is.
suffocate.
I mean, give it to Keck. Give Keck 5 minutes. They won't fit right now.
Yeah, I can make him fit.
In the distance, a slender figure tends to the wounded villagers, who respond with heartfelt gratitude. As the individual approaches, you realize they are more than simply thin. The figure is a skeleton, clothed in a yellow and magenta dress, with many colorful beaded necklaces hanging from the exposed vertebrae of their neck. And Mark dropped.
No, I mean I'm still here. Something's wrong with my camera. I'm fixing it. Hold on. Also, bark, bark.
Skeletons.
Skeletons, spooky, scary skeletons. Welcome back.
Thanks.
He's a red shirt. That's why he keeps dying.
Yep.
You must be parched after that fight, they say. How about some drinks, friends, on the house? And the skeleton, which is wearing this very brightly colored dress, you see that around the eye sockets and in designs across their skull, bones, arm bones, fingers, there are carvings, very delicate carvings that have been painted in. Sometimes with bright colors, but mostly with blacks and whites to help accentuate different areas along their body, as it were. As you're are you following her? Then,
Mm-hmm.
the skeleton introduces themselves as Rufina and explains that they own the village tavern, and thank you for dealing with the bounty hunters. As you as you make your way into what the skeleton, Rufina, says is a pulgaria, you see that the front wall of the tavern, called the pulgaria, it specializes in a local beverage called pulque. And the front wall is plastered with portraits of missing persons and requests for help. As you enter the tavern, you see that the pulqueria's walls are painted with murals that depict a series of armed conflicts, with locals celebrating the victory at the end. A candlelit altar behind the bar includes a painting portrait of an elderly woman, which is surrounded by yellow marigolds and offerings of drinks and cactus fruits. Two dwarves are seated at one of the three tables in the pulqueria, and they glance up at you curiously, especially as you have two full-grown, tied-up men underneath an arm. The two of you. Who are just now kind of coming to.
Smile. Just smile.
Oh,
Not check.
let's go. We were only here doing our job. And as he says that, one of the dwarves spits into a metal canister on the floor near his foot.
I don't know what that means. Are we supposed to know what that means?
Yeah, give him like
It's
a really
cold
hard
term
like.
for like piss
I-
on you, basically.
I jumped ahead by a lot. I'm gonna rewind. Rufina is leading you through the village. Rufina is leading you through the village. Do you have any questions about the village of this walking skeleton?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna unroll the wanted poster and show it to her.
Okay.
What of this do you know?
Well, that's Paloma. The bounty hunters that have been abusing our peoples here have been looking for her for quite a while.
Who is she and why is she important?
It depends on who you are and who you ask. To
I
me,
simply have the interest of finding this on a bandit who just tried to end our lives.
yeah.
Other than that, I could not give a damn.
Where is that section? I would say if you were to ask that of these two individuals, and she indicates to the two men that are starting to wake up, you would find that they would say she has been accused of quite a few crimes in a lot of the outlands outside of Sansiklan.
Am I to understand that she is a hero here then?
As you say that, the two grumbling bandits, when you tied them up, did you gag them?
Yes.
You hear them go. I would say hero to many who are down on their luck and who find themselves at the worst end of the weapons of people like these. And they indicate with a thin, bony hand to the two that are tied up under your guys' arms.
Perhaps a case of one man's criminal is another man's Robin Hood.
I believe that is the way of it. Yes. I don't know this Robin Hood, but based on your inflection, I think I understand.
I lived amongst humans for a while, and it at times was a compliment and other times a pejorative term simply for people who stole from those with and provided to those without.
Yes, that would definitely be the case. Give me a persuasion check, Sibo, since you're the one doing the majority of the talking right now.
Oh God, persuasion. I'm not a charismatic fellow.
If somebody would like to jump in with the conversation and take over some of the questions and stuff, they can go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Did you say it was? It was persuasion.
Yeah, I'll be like translating from like common to like better common.
To better.
Better
a 5.
A 5. As you can tell, Sibo's running towards the end of his.
Okay, but yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Running towards the end.
No, please, Prue, enlighten. That's all I've got.
So I jump in
Okay.
and like I'd be like, he's great with stuff, but maybe not so much on words. So when you say crimes to certain people. What are the certain people? And what are the crimes?
What did you roll?
26.
So a little bit better than a 5. Just a little.
Yeah.
Well, and she pauses. I keep saying it's a skeleton. The skeleton's without gender, but originally Rufina was a woman, so I'm going to be using she for that purpose.
I mean, they can identify female by
She's
the bone, so.
she's a she they, yeah. She pauses a moment and indicates for a villager who had been setting up his door, like his door had been broken in, and he's trying to put his door back on the hinges, and says, who is Paloma to you? Rufina says. And the villager says, she's a hero. Her and her band raids the estates and caravans of the landowners that ask for too much. They want too much. And she shares that wealth with the folk who need it, the folk in these areas, and us. And he sweeps the town of Millsupple with his hand as he says us. Rufina says, nods, and you guys continue walking, and she says she initially ran afoul of the law years ago when she was falsely accused of a crime. They said that she murdered a landowner when really it was some of his rivals that wanted his land, and they were trying to put the rope in a place where it didn't belong. Sadly, her and her band. What?
Is that a saying, or like he was literally trying to put a rope somewhere it didn't belong?
They were trying to hunt her down and execute her for something she didn't do.
Thank you for clarifying.
More recently, her and her band were attacked by someone or something on the road. Most of them didn't make it back, but no one found Paloma. As you're walking through the village, you have noticed many locals huddled in corners, bundled up in blanket-like serapis. Is that right?
Yeah.
Serapis, and trembling with cold, despite it being warm and starting to get cloudy. So there's a bunch of people huddled up and shivering like they're cold, standing in small groups as you're passing through.
Okay.
The people here
Really
seem
quick,
to
though,
be
like,
immune
it's
to the
obvious
effects around
that they're
them.
cold, and it's not actually cold, or they're scared, shivering.
They're not scared shivering, and they seem to be cold shivering. And Siba, you were saying?
The people here do not seem affected by the environment around them. Quite the opposite, in fact.
She takes in what both Sibo and Prue have said and says, these poor unfortunates have caught this sereno.
I'm
Sereno.
unfamiliar with this term.
It's an illness that seems to be spread by the bitterly cold winds. Folks who have fallen ill speak of those winds blowing most of the night. You probably shouldn't be out after dark. That's when these winds pick up and seem to infect the people here.
It's like a breathing in thing. You mask. Maybe?
So the cold wind comes out at night. Mostly comes out at night.
Mostly.
I love you guys.
There are more people that you seem to see standing in the sunlight, wrapped up with blankets, shivering as if they're cold, then not.
When did this start? The Serrano.
That is a good question.
Also,
Has
do I
anyone
have time
recovered
to cast
from it?
detect magic?
At this moment, I'm gonna say 2 weeks, Mark. Until I find a better answer. I think it's 2
Okay.
weeks. Okay, you were saying detect magic, and somebody else was saying
Has anyone recovered from this?
no. And their health
And-
just gets worse until they pass.
And how many have been lost?
From this town alone, we have lost 12.
And what is done with their bodies?
In normally, they would be buried in the family crypt, which is outside town. But because of the nature of this illness, we have been burning them and then putting them with their families in the crypts.
Cremation seems the safest. You would not want anything to spread from the dead.
Okay,
I'm sorry to ask this question, but does it seem to take longer to cremate the people than normal?
I mean, honestly, it's a strange question for me to answer. And she turns her face to you with the skull-like grin that you can't really tell if it's actually a grin. But she says, I don't have a lot of experience in that area. You could ask the replacement for our local father. He's been the one that's been doing most of this. But he also is sick with the Sereno.
And what is his name?
Father Paulo.
Thank you.
Has the bandit I'm carrying become conscious yet?
Oh yeah, so they're both conscious and they're fighting against the ropes, but they're gagged, so they've pretty much been ignored at this point.
I'm going to remove the gag from his mouth.
He spits into the dirt a lot, and then asks for some water.
And then I'm going to say into his head, while I'm ripping pieces of horse meat off with my mouth because I'm using telepathy while I'm eating.
Do you know anything about this disease? Answers, then refreshments.
How is he currently positioned? I pictured
think-
him being carried under your arm like this,
Yeah,
so he's currently facing down.
yeah.
He says, this sickness has popped up all over, and we try to be in before dark.
Is your camp affected as well?
For a little bit, but we make sure they don't suffer. And that line has a finality to it.
A finality named Keck.
Naomi, were you doing detect magic? Is that what you were asking?
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing it as a ritual?
Yes, if I get a chance to. That's since I have some.
You guys are
collab- I get my tuning fork.
Yep.
It's a whole.
And it takes, I think it takes 10 minutes to set up.
Yeah.
So this is happening while you're doing that ritual.
Okay.
So that's his question. Answer to your question, Keg.
is your camp located?
He is struggling. You can tell he's
Hold on.
afraid
Before
of
you
you.
answer,
He's
I'm gonna
shaking
take
his
the
head.
other one
Yeah.
away
Okay.
so that he doesn't hear his answer.
Okay. Were you saying that with telepathy?
Yeah, I have to. Everything I do is telepathy.
So you wouldn't even know that he was asking that question, but
Right.
you're removing him anyway because it's a good idea to question them separately anyway, so that's fine. He's shaking his head. He is not answering your question.
We can leave you outside tonight.
I would rather take chances than have them find out I told you.
Told us what? And like just see. Maybe he'll give it away. So where your buddies already talked. It's okay, I can lie legally.
He's not falling for it.
This is all part of my chant for the cleansing auras. I'm not even there.
Yeah, he is sticking to his guns on that. Sunshine, what are you doing?
I'm gonna ungag him
Okay.
and ask him where are the rest of your friends? Because if you don't tell me, if your answer doesn't match his, then you saw what the wizard can do, yes? Our wizard friend? How she blew up half of your friends? Well, we'll just kill you and then she'll ask your corpse.
I think that's something I would like to see. I can tell you if either one of us told you where the camp was, both of us would be dead anyway.
Threaten him with finger bang.
I will finger bang you so
I'm not gonna
good.
finger bang this guy.
This is to break my concentration.
I love that that's a thing now.
Okay. You're not scared of
Do
dying.
not make
That's
me
fine.
give you the finger.
But, and I point to Keck, your dying will not be fast, and he will eat you alive. Can I intimidate him?
Sure.
Starting at the toes, it's the closest thing to his mouth.
17?
I'm hearing all this going like with a questioning face, like
17.
Mm-hmm.
No.
This entire
also
campaign just
17.
became
Oh, you also got
Hello,
17?
Wandponder.
He looks like he does not want that to happen. Like he does not want to get fed to the giant monster. But he's also
He's a
still,
hungry bastard, too. I bet you he'd finish you in a sitting.
Nice. You are getting the feeling that whatever they have been threatened with is scarier than Keck.
Okay, so then I put the gag back in his mouth, and I'm gonna just knock him back unconscious with a hit.
Yep. Not a problem. He slumps over onto his side.
I'll regag the one I'm carrying.
Okay.
And I'll come back to you guys with the guy unconscious. He's not saying anything.
As you walk back, dragging the guy behind you, Prue, your ritual completes, and there's like this area of hazy, dark, bubbling energy that. Yes.
Alright, I'm listening.
Oh, you disappeared.
I did not do that on purpose.
Okay.
Hold on.
There's a hazy, bubbling, purplish, almost like oil slick of energy that you see hanging on and around these people, the people that are shivering from the cold. This is no disease.
From the School of Magic?
necromancy? It's a curse, so it's not really a school of magic.
Is there anything in particular about? Okay, it's clinging on the people, not necessarily in there.
It's poisoning them. Yeah. So it's a
Okay.
curse. It's a curse that's poisoning them, and it is just true to how they described it. It seems to be blowing with the wind. There is a slight bit of wind you can actually feel right now, and it's slowly moving with the wind. You imagine at night when it's cold, it probably moves a lot faster.
I have a scarf around my face nearly immediately. I'm being like, this is it's a curse, but it seems it doesn't seem contagious. Like spread person to person or spread on the wind.
It doesn't seem like either of those.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Give me a.
can't someone who has the curse give it to someone else?
Give me whoever wants to try to piece those two things together. Please roll an Arcana check.
Ooh, yay! 19.
Uh,
18.
I know those are all words.
I'm not even going to attempt that.
Yeah, not my wheelhouse.
Sibo and Prue, you're thinking about it, and while there could be a curse out there that is contagious, most curses are purposeful. They are a form of malicious intent that is put on someone or someone's. Now, this could use the wind as a source for that disease-like curse to spread, but you have never heard of, in all of your studies or stories, a curse that moves contagious without some kind of ill intent.
Okay, I have a quick question I'll be asking. I forgot her name, so like
Rufina.
Rufina, thank you. I didn't want to call her Skeletal Lady. Do the people who've contracted this have anything else in common other than them being out at night?
Not that we've been able to find.
Skeleton lady, how are you alive?
Well, I mean, all things being equal, I'm not alive. I'm an olvidado, a deceased person who came back a couple of years ago on the night of the Remembered and decided to stay.
And you're feeling okay, right? Like no joint issues or
She actually laughs. And it's a strange sight. She has been pronouncing all of her words as if she had a tongue and lips. So that part's not strange, but the sight of a laughing skeleton, a laughing corpse, if you will, throws you off a little bit. But she laughs and says, "No, I feel fine for what I do feel."
Do you hunger? Our chef is quite good.
Area had a feeling like an issue, so we want to make sure it's not spreading. Do you know why or who would want to cause harm or maybe eliminate this entire town?
Just as a clarification, the Sereno is it's affecting a lot more than just this town. It's in a lot of the areas out here in the desert, and let me show you the map really quick.
Is there someone or something? Okay.
Okay, do you guys see the map?
Yeah.
This is Milpazul. you guys came in right about where the compass is and headed north to Milpazul. And this main area is a desert outside of San Sitlan, the city that this area is kind of named after. And the sickness is in a lot more places than just here.
And these places have been around for a long time. I'm guessing these towns. This is not a brand new. This isn't a
Yeah.
bunch of people coming in and messing with stuff that they shouldn't be. Right?
Doesn't seem like it.
New tombs opened or burial grounds messed with.
Not that I know of. And as a note for all of you, this is not, absolutely is not, what was affecting Irandi and his people. You've
Right,
seen
because
you've seen
because
enough
it would have
now.
Which
Yeah.
is different. I was just checking with her in general because it is something that is going around, and she being an undead would feel some of the first symptoms.
Could
So
be.
that was
Yeah,
general.
could be. I just wanted to clarify too that we're not looking at the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I figured it.
because
Just
otherwise,
but it
Rufina would've
does still
had
have
Yeah.
curse vibes, so I just can't tell how old the curse is, can I?
So they said that this started about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, but starting a curse starting 2 weeks ago doesn't mean it was a curse left 2 weeks ago. Like it could have been something dug up, or I don't know.
True.
Any major events that might have coincided with 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Has anything else happened about 2 weeks ago, or a little before, after, whatever?
Nothing that I can think of.
So people just are the winds new? Is it a recent season change? I don't know.
The cold winds that the infected have said are bringing this sickness with them, those are new. I mean, there are cold winds here a lot out here on the edges of the desert, but they didn't bring this kind of chill. They didn't bring the sereno.
All right, so the cold chill definitely attached to that, and it really only comes at night. The weather during the day is normal.
It would seem like, and they also feel better when in sunlight. That's why so many of them right now are in the sun.
Where did this first start?
About 2 weeks ago.
no, he said where.
Oh, where? Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't.
sorry.
We don't talk a lot with a lot of the other places, or at least I don't. But I just know when it started here.
How long have these wanted posters, which we still don't know the crime she's been charged with, how long have they been around?
They've been hunting her for years.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
So completely unrunrelated things.
There
There's,
is.
Find common strings yet?
Yeah, they're completely. Those two are unrelated. There is what's the Spanish word for jail, or like brig?
Jeez.
I don't even know. There's one of those, and she uses the proper terminology for it for these two bandits, and kind of points in a direction for you guys to take them, so you don't have to keep carrying them around.
It's like stockade or something. I don't know.
Carcel?
Yeah. Is that what Google says?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jail, prison.
Yeah, something like that, but much smaller. It's just a one room, but it's got a lot of really heavy security for a place like this, I guess. And as you get rid of your extra baggage, you see that you have made it to the pulqueria, which is what I described before. It is a tavern named after the main drink, And as you come in, she offers you pulque, which is an alcoholic beverage made of fermented agave sap, and the only drink she remembers how to make. And she also moves back behind the small bar and brings out cactus, beans, and tortillas, and sets them on the table and says, whoever's hungry, here's some food. It's not the best. I don't really remember what stuff tastes like, so I can only do what I can do. And there's also a room over there, and you see two swinging like doors, and behind them you see there's like a cot and some empty floor space. If any of you are tired or need a rest, there's a small room back there. I don't sleep anymore. Again, as described, there is a painted portrait of an elderly woman, kind of like on an altar, back by the bar. Two dwarves are seated at one of the three tables, but otherwise the room is fairly empty, except for the five of you and the Ovadad.
Is there somewhere I can clean
Ovadad.
up? And I just kind of like, I'm still covered in blood.
She chuckles again, a light chuckle, and says, "Through there, through that bedroom area, out back, there's." And she'll describe like an outhouse and some areas of water and stuff for you to clean up.
Cool.
She pauses a moment and relights a candle by the painted portrait, and then goes about cleaning glasses behind the bar, but does not have a rag in her hand. So you hear bone on glass as she's going through the motions of cleaning the glasses, but it seems like something skipped when she's trying to perform the action. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight. You guys in the pulqueria.
Tequila shot.
Huh?
But I was gonna have tacos and tequila shots.
Here, I got it in there.
Okay.
Prue will have tacos and tequila shots at the beginning of next session.
So I was just wondering, because if prestidigitation can heat up a small thing, like I'm thinking I could distill real quickly and just increase the alcohol content of all the drinks.
I don't know if that's how that works. I don't see why. We can talk about it.
Okay.
So next Monday is Kingdom Death Monster?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm not sure on that yet because of how much prep needs to go into it and being in this testing.
Yeah.
So
No worries.
I'm not sure on that yet.
No worries.
But I had other things too that I can't remember. Thank you guys very much for playing.
Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
fear
Yeah,
is
this is
I'm
awesome.
going to get to a point where I want to challenge you guys so badly that it's just going to TPK the party. Because I've been slowly ramping it, and every time I slowly ramp it, you guys are like, nope, turn one, smush.
I'm not seeing a problem here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a problem. I've lost
fine.
characters before. It's okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I don't have anything additional, I think. Unlike the last several times we've played, you're not going to gain a level right now, so...
Damn.
Well, think of it this way: if you get upset, just remember you killed all of us at the beginning of the game.
That's
Fair.
right.
Fair.
We are all...
I started you off.
That's correct.
It was a disintegration spell.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, first of all, thank you, Daniel, for running. Thank you, Naomi and Andres and Shank and Crow for playing. And thank you everybody for joining us for all the raids and the follows. Appreciate all of you. We will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10 Eastern for some Once Human gameplay. So join us for that. But for now, we're going to raid out to a friend of the channel, Bomb Fonky, who is playing Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, which is a super hardcore 1990s style MMO with no map and everything's brutal and there's no hand holding. So we're going to go head over there, show some love to them. Thank you everybody for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. Until next time, as always, be excellent to each other. And of course, game on.
Game on.
Game on.
Come on.
Game on.